BongoBuild Season 1, Episode 1.
Okay, so the first thing I was doing here is measuring the height and width behind the front seats, because I'm going to put a curtain in here, just kind of like a blackout blind, so that when I'm in the back, in the sort of camping mode, it just gives you a bit more privacy, and it kind of helps just to block out the light a bit more in the morning when it's coming through. So now what I'm doing is an old trick I learned from the BongoBuild. I basically use some paper and make like a template around the windows. I blue tack this on, then I use a pen to draw around it, as you can see here, and this just gives me a nice shape to cut out for when I'm making the insulation to block out the light. Again, just doing another one here, but for the rear window, except this time I propped my camera up very poorly and it fell, so wasn't a great move. Can't go any further without shouting out my sponsor, Amazon Prime. I honestly don't know how I would have done this without, well, I'm saying that I probably would have just had to go buy a thing from shops, wouldn't I? But look at me, Gen Z, a product of the 21st century. Anyway, kind of fortunate because I've actually already built these before when I had Linda, so I just went into Amazon and ordered everything again. So we've got the wrap here to make the covers for the windows. Got some of this, which is, it just sticks absolutely everything. Super glue, posh stuff and the cheap stuff, because you just, everything gets super glued. Some of these because I'm too lazy to get out of my car and find out if I'm actually in between the lines when I parked. Some magnets, which you'll see later on, and these, which just mean that I can stick that to the windows. So that's the unboxing part of the video. Such a B-Tech YouTuber. And then I'm just going to get on with the cutting and sticking, the fun stuff. Got the first one lined up on the installation. As you can tell, it's been cut impeccably neat by me. But it's always better to have it a bit bigger, because you can always take more off. You can't add more on. So I'm going to cut this out, go measure up against the windscreen, and then take off what I need to. So as you can see, this is one of the finished templates I've cut out for the front driver's window. I'm now going to do the same thing again for the passenger window. As much as I enjoy doing all the prep, you do have to have a bit of manoeuvrability about it to climb some interesting positions. I like to, you know, make my head too big because I've already got a massive head, but look at that. I mean, it's, you know, it's pretty close, isn't it? Just gonna show you, I can't believe how dark it's getting already, but the suction hook is screwed in there at the back, so then when I pop it up, it just stays on and doesn't blow away. Not that ever happened before. Look at that, boom! First one done. I'll show you from the outside. There you go, all blocked out. Sorted. Yes, it's getting pretty dark in here, but now I'm putting the windscreen one up. It's smelling like fumes because of the glue I've used. So let's get this done quickly before I get a headache. So this is what we're doing. So we've got the one on the front now. That suction cup's come off, but it more or less covers it for now. And then we have this one here. And then we've got the rear. So if you're wondering why I don't have ones on like the side windows, the car actually comes with electric blinds, so you press a button and blinds fall down on the side, so that's a job less. There's also going to be a curtain in here just to cover that up, so when you're in the back you're not looking through, but that's a job for another day. So this is one of the boards that goes over the head as part of the roof. The other thing is they're quite hard to slide backwards and forwards, and when you're on the top of it, which I'll show you, it can be quite hard to pull up from when you're on top of the bed as part of the pop-up. So we've got a bit of, I don't know, material here. We're going to make it into a bit of a latch pull, so you can pull it from the top. As you might be able to tell, the light is indeed letting us down right now, with it being October. So these are the boards which make up the bed on the upstairs, but they're quite heavy, so I've just fitted a little piece of material there so I can pull and slide that. It fits really flush, and then there's the other light there. So this is just to demonstrate my point what I was saying earlier about them being quite difficult. So this is like the upstairs bed. So if I hoist myself up here, you have to be a bit of an acrobat, but that's just part and parcel. So these are the boards which make the bed. So I'm actually now on the roof of the Bongo, but as you can see here, if you don't have this, you've got to try and get your fingers down there to pull it up, which when you're laying on it is quite hard. So now time to test my my geniusness. All I have to do now, grab this and pull it up. Happy days. Really nice addition here too is that in the Picasso, all the insulation for the windows had to go in the bed. So I'm putting the bed up, it's a bit of faff taking it all out, but as you can see here, there's a nice little gap just in between the roof of the upstairs bed and the actual roof of the van, and it's just about, you can see my hand there, just enough to get all these in nice and snug, so they're out of the way. And you're not having to get into bed with loads of insulation wrap, which is always a bonus. Okay, that concludes episode 1 of BongoBuild. Next time we're going to be looking at the interiors a bit more and figuring out how the bed's going to work. Hopefully I've had a haircut by then as well. Catch you then.